Hi, I'm Kaja from Valkyrie Martial Arts, and today, in the second part of our prehabilitation mini-series, I'm going to talk a little bit about stretching. So as martial artists, and as fencers in particular, we do a lot of work that's very hard on our wrists and our forearms, as well as our hips and the muscles in our legs. I'm going to show you a series of both active and static stretches that are going to help loosen up those crucial muscle groups. So to warm up your wrists before some intensive technical training, or to just spend some time improving your range of motion and your mobility, we're going to use this series of active stretches. So you're going to start with your hands on the floor in front of you and with your fingers turned outwards at 90 degrees from your arms. You're going to make sure that your arms are straight and that your elbows are locked as much as possible. And you're just going to start gently shifting your weight back and forth over top of your hands. And you're just going to spend about a minute rocking back and forth and slowly increasing how far you move your hands. After you've done that, you're going to switch to a side-to-side motion. And we're going to maintain the exact same principles. Your arms are going to be nice and straight. And you're going to be pushing yourself just to the very edge of where you start to feel uncomfortable. There shouldn't be any pain while you're doing this, but you should be getting a good sense of what the limits are of your range of motion. Once you've spent some time working this position, you're going to rotate your hands 90 degrees so that your fingers are facing forward, and then go back to your forwards and backwards rocking motion. From there, you'll do the same thing from side to side, always extending as far as you can comfortably go without lifting your hands off the floor. You're going to repeat this same exercise with the palms facing inwards and with the palms facing backwards. Once you've worked through that entire series, you're going to start again, but this time resting on the backs of your hands. Now, it's very important to make sure that your arms are straight while you're doing this, but you're going to find that you can apply much less pressure comfortably without hurting your wrists. So be very gentle with yourself, move slowly, and keep as much of your weight as you need to back on your legs. Now, as I mentioned, one of the things that this exercise is doing is improving and testing the range of motions in your wrists. But the reason that we want to keep our forearms straight is because what it's also doing is improving the mobility and smoothness of how our tendons move through our forearms. So our posterior muscle chain runs from the top of our head all the way down our back through to the bottom of our feet. And it's responsible for maintaining spinal alignment, for affecting our posture when we walk. And it often gets very tight if we do a lot of extension or lunging work, if we do a lot of lifting work that puts pressure on our chest, or if we just sit a lot behind a computer desk. We're going to spend some time in a static stretch today to help release those muscles. So you're going to start by laying your back flat along the ground, tilting your pelvis so that there's no gap between your lower back and the floor. You're going to relax your arms out to about a 45-degree angle and let that press your shoulder blades flat into the ground. From here, you're going to extend your legs upwards about the same width apart as your hips and flex your feet back towards your body, which engages your shins and your quads just a little bit. And you're just going to stay in this position for about 3 to 5 minutes. Now, fencing also tends to be really hard on our hip flexors. So there's a second modification of the stretch that we can do to really address some of that tension. You're going to start in that same basic stretch with your legs against the wall, and then slowly pull your legs apart. You don't want to drop into this position, but rather actively use the hip flexors on the outsides of your legs to extend downwards. And then slowly let gravity take hold as you get far enough to